welcome you back here to the Hyder Center, where your Creighton Prep Juniors days take on the Omaha Bryan Bears. We're in for a very, very close game, very evenly matched teams, and yeah, that's about it. What do you got?
Yeah, I think both these teams have the same record. You know, both highly ranked teams looking to try and get a good win, something to propel them into the state tournament later, get better seeding, hopefully to host a game.
Absolutely. As we look to the top 10, brought to you by Neb Prep's coaches poll, is at number 1 is Bellevue West, obviously coming off a great win in the Metro tournament. Following them is Millard North and Omaha Central. 2 and 3, West Side. Up at 4, followed by Gretna at 5. Number 6 is the Papillion La Vista South, followed by Creighton Prep and Omaha North at the 7 and 8. Number 9, Bryan, and 10 is Lincoln Pius X. Receiving votes are Lincoln Southeast. I feel like this top 10 really hasn't changed a lot. I guess the teams, like the order has changed, but the same core 10 have been in this since the beginning of the year.
Yeah, Omaha Central had their run to the finals of the Metro Holiday Tournament. Although they fell, they rose 5 spots, capturing wins over then number 1 Millard North and then number 4 Gretna.
Absolutely. As we go in to see what Bryan did against Buena Vista in their latest game, 78-36. Amari Bynum with 20, followed by Amir Martin, 17 points. Amari Bynum at one point in the game had 3 fast break dunks in a row, showing off his true skill and ability against these Buena Vista Bison.
And yeah, when you're able to shoot that good from the field, even if you struggle from 3, you're going to win most games. Not only that, but limited turnovers while high assist just gets a lot of shots off, and it's tough to really stop a team when they get so many shots in the paint.
Absolutely. As we move on to Creighton Prep, who got a good win against a Westview team that has been doing pretty well so far this season, 67-50, followed by Dylan Clausen, 22, and Chanel Parker, 16. These two names have been coming up a lot when talking about the Creighton Prep Junior Jays.
Yeah, both these guys haven't missed much from the field. Clausen's shooting over 50% from 3, and when you get 39 rebounds and are able to hit 9 of 23s, you're going to win most games. 45% from 3 is a very high clip, regardless of level of basketball.
And, of course, Chanel Parker's excellent work in the paint really just propels this team into their winning record. As we go into the key players, obviously Amari Bynum, one of, if not the best basketball player in the state of Nebraska, averaging 20 points a game, almost 10 rebounds per game, and 2 or 3 blocks per game. And on the flip side of that, we got Dylan Clausen, averaging 16.6 points per game, nearly 10 rebounds a game, and 1.5 blocks per game. Both of them lead their teams in majority of their stats. Obviously, like I just said before, Dylan Clausen is a name that comes up a lot when talking about Creighton Prep basketball, just like Amari Bynum is a name that comes up a lot in Nebraska basketball total, as he is a 4-star recruit looking at, I believe, 5 or 6 colleges giving him offers.
And yeah, both these guys are so special. They're able to score at all 3 levels. While they can score in the paint, they're both shooting over 40% from 3, yet still hauling in rebounds and getting blocks on the other end of the ball.
So we compare the two teams as a whole, very, very evenly matched. 8-2 overall, 4-1 at home. Of course, Bryan only 1-0 away, as opposed to Creighton Prep's 3-1 away. Very similar win percentages. Bryan did get a good win against Omaha North, who is ranked above them in the Net Preps poll, and Creighton Prep obviously getting a very good win against Lincoln Southwest.
Yeah, these teams are neck and neck in most stats. This matchup could set them apart, have big impacts when coming to the 16 best teams in the state later this year.
As we compare these teams even more, Creighton Prep falls below Bryan in points per game. However, Bryan leads in points allowed per game by about 6, and field goals per game, again, very, very close. The part where I think really separates these teams is behind the arc. Creighton Prep shooting 41% and Omaha Bryan only shooting 32%. I think the 3 is going to be heavily guarded by Bryan, here today, especially regarding Dylan Clausen, Carney, and Carson Jones.
Yeah, this Creighton prep team is maybe the most efficient Creighton prep team I've seen in my 3 years here.
Especially shooting behind the arc.
And even when they miss, they get a ton of offensive rebounds with Parker and Clausen down low. It's really tough to stop this team from scoring, even if they go long into the shot clock.
Absolutely. As we look at both these teams warming up, we will take a step back here on CPSN. Welcome you back, where the starting lineups are just getting ready to be announced. Starting with Omaha Bryan is number 5, Amari Bynum, followed by number 11, Thomas Alsup. Then number 13, Rylan Rodriguez, followed by number 23, Amir Martin. And finishing us off is number 24, LC Doss. This is looking like a very strong starting 5 for Bryan. Obviously looking like they got a lot of height. As we shift over to the Creighton Prep Junior Jays. Little video board starting they got on screen. Starting lineup for your Creighton Prep Junior Jays. Starting us off is number 0, Dylan Clausen, followed by number 1, Marquise Tolliver. After him is number 4, Caleb Josu. And sharpshooter, number 10, Carson Jones. And finishing off Creighton Prep is number 32, Trinell Parker. As we get closer to tip-off, you wonder how these two teams will compare and match up.
Yeah, Bryan definitely has a size advantage, but Prep also plays very fast and has 2 big guys inside on defense to get boards. So it should be a really good matchup on both sides of the ball.
Looks like Amari Bynum will take tip-off against Trinell Parker. Ball is up, and we are ready for basketball. Creighton Prep wins, and Marquise Tolliver will take up the court. Waves over to Trinell Parker, over to Dylan on the right. Clausen driving in. Looks, doesn't see anything. Kicks it back out to Tolliver. Josu now with it. Down to Parker, who fumbles the ball a little bit. Dribbles around, and a foul is called. Looks like it's a foul on number 13. That's Rylan Rodriguez, and Clausen to throw it in. Over to Tolliver on the left side. Down to Clausen, works in the paint, puts up a shot, gets it to go. Creighton Prep first to strike as Amir Martin takes it up, passes it back down to LC Doss. Doss working on Tolliver. Tolliver playing pretty good defense. And knocks the ball away. And a foul is called. I believe it's a technical foul on Marquise Tolliver. And that's Amir Martin to shoot 2, and Tolliver looks like will be subbed out for Torn Carter Brown.
It's good to see him back after shin splints, back on the floor, hopefully starting soon enough.
Amir Martin makes his first, making this a 1-point game, and Marquise Tolliver will take a seat, and he made them both. And it's back to Bryan basketball with the game tied up at 2 very early in this first quarter. Thomas Alsup over to LC Doss. Doss back up to Rodriguez. Rodriguez over to Doss. Doss down to Amari Bynum. Bynum working on Clausen, gets a good spin moves, kicks it back out to Rodriguez, and it's tipped away by Josu. Last touch by Prep.
And yeah, the Jays immediately sent help when Bynum got the ball. They could be doubling him a lot of this game today, especially when he gets down low.
Martin with the ball, using his left hand. A little Euro step, puts up a shot, no good, out of bounds. Last touch by the Junior Jays. It will stay with Bryan with a reset shot clock.
Yeah, Bryan's been hounding the offensive rebounds. It feels like we've been down here all game after a short first possession for Prep.
Doss to throw it in. Goes for Bynum, but is tipped away. Torn Carter Brown with the ball. Looks around. Down to Parker. Parker working on Alsup. Puts up a shot, and he got it. That's Parker's second made shot of the game. Bynum now on the left wing. Goes to Doss. Doss back to Bynum. Bynum for 3. Misses. Rebounded by Doss. Over to Alsup. Alsup for a deep 3. And misses the basket. That will be Creighton Prep basketball. As Josu is subbed in for, Marquise Tolliver subbed back in for Torn Carter Brown.
And yeah, we'll see if Prep goes back to Trinell Parker. That's who they've went their first few possessions down low. Maybe they see a matchup they like. Now Bynum switched on to him.
Oh, Josu for 3, and bang! For 3. That brings your score 7-2 with 6 minutes left in the first quarter, and a timeout called by Bryan. I think this is a great start here by the Junior Jays. They're playing aggressive, obviously haven't gotten that many are struggled there on defense to get a rebound, but other than that, they're playing very well, showing their hustle, showing why they're a fast-paced team.
Yeah, the Junior Jays, although they've won a lot of games, have had a lot of slow starts this year. Breaking out of that habit could do dividends in the future against elite teams where a slow start can't be something you can have.
So Bryan will take the court first. Coach Lukey looks to be drawing something up for his Junior Jays.
Yeah, the only issue we've seen is the defensive rebounding from the Junior Jays. Bryan's already had multiple shots on just 2 possessions. Even with Clausen and Parker on the floor, the 2 best rebounders on this team by a good margin.
It's like Alsup back to inbound it over to Doss. Doss got it by Tolliver. Over to Alsup on the right wing. Over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez back to Doss. Doss down to Bynum. Bynum puts up a short jumper, and he got it. 3-point game. Marquise Tolliver jogging down the court. Loses the ball there. Parker on the top of the key over to Dylan. Dylan back to Parker. Parker over to Caleb Josu. Tolliver at the top of the key. Gets a pick by Clausen. Josu. Dylan down to Parker. Loses the basketball. Rebounded by Bryan. That's Amari Bynum. Bynum dribbling around over to Alsup. Alsup, no look pass to Doss. Doss makes a pass and gets it right back. Directing traffic over to Alsup. Rodriguez puts up a shot, no good. And out of bounds, I believe it went too high.
Yeah, Bynum was calling for it in the post. They want to try and feed him the ball, either have him kick it out or go at Clausen.
Marquise Tolliver back to bring it up. Dribbling to his right, stops at top of the key, hesitates, puts up a shot, and he made it. 4-3, Marquise Tolliver with his first points of the game. Amir Martin puts up a tough layup, doesn't go, and it'll be out of bounds. Good hustle by Prep to get that ball. And first substitution for Bryan. In comes number 0, Brandon Jarman, replacing LC Doss. Brandon Jarman only 5'9" for this Bryan offense. And inbound is tipped away by Dylan Clausen. Carson Jones slips and falls. Clausen over to Josu for 3, no good. And out of bounds, last touch by Amari Bynum. Will stay here.
Those are the shots the Junior Jays want. Open corner threes is something they'll take all day, even from shooters who aren't shooting 50% from 3.
Back up to Josu in the top of the key. Marquise Tolliver gets a pick from Parker. Dribbles in, tries to kick it out, and it's a foot race, and it'll be an over and back called on Creighton Prep. Rodriguez stays on the floor for a little bit, but it looks like he will be up and just fine. And substitution. In comes Carney for Tolliver.
Torrin Carter-Brown's going to come back on the floor as well, taking Carson Jones off.
It's Bynum over to Alsup. Alsup back to Amir Martin. Over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez down to Alsup. Alsup puts up a tough shot, rebounded by Parker. Parker dumps it to Torrin Carter-Brown. Torrin Carter-Brown over to Carney. Carney, top of the key to Parker. Back over to Carter-Brown, who gives it back to Parker, who works in the post, and he got another layup. That's 6 points for Trinell Parker, all in the post. As Amari Bynum, working on Clausen, puts up a tough shot. That's a great offensive move there by Amari Bynum on Dylan Clausen.
Yeah, his shot release is so high. Even for someone as tall and long-armed as Clausen, it's near impossible to block.
Oh, tipped away by Amir Martin. And it's last touch by Creighton Prep. It will be Bryan basketball. That's also up to inbound it back in. Also up on the left wing. Over to Bynum in the corner. Bynum working on Clausen. Puts up a contested three. Doesn't get it. Rebounded by Carter Brown. Carter Brown runs down the court. Over to Carney. Pump fakes. Puts up another one. No good. Rebounded by Bynum. Bynum. Shaky pass over to Amir Martin. And it looks like Alsop will be fouled. Looks like it will be on the floor, however, as Bryan will inbound it. And substitution, Josu coming out. Marquise Tolliver taking his place. Inbound over to Bynum. Bynum over to Amir Martin. Amir Martin puts up a shot, no good. That'll be Creighton Prep basketball. Marquise Tolliver moving up the court pretty fast. Over to Parker at the top of the key. Passes to Clausen. Clausen down to Tolliver. Tolliver kicks out to Torrin Carter Brown. Guarded by Jamon. Loses the basketball. That's Amari Bynum dribbling it back up the court. On the left, over to Jamin. Jamin for three, no good. Rebounded by Bryan. Rodriguez in the corner, puts up a shot, doesn't. Goes for a layup, no good. Rebounded by Parker. Marquise Tolliver, big pass over to Josh Carney, who puts up a layup and got it to go. Nearly blocked by Alsop. That puts Creighton Prep to an 8-point lead here with a minute and a half left in the first quarter. Bynum now dribbling with his left. Gives it to Martin. Martin got it by Tolliver. Over to Alsop. Alsop back to Rodriguez. Rodriguez picks up his dribble. Alsop in the corner. Tall pass to Brandon Jarman. Jarman working on Carter Brown. Puts up a shot. Swish. That is his first points of the game. Bryan 8, Prep 14.
Yeah, Jarman's small, but he loves to use his physicality down low.
See that. As Parker down low, misses a layup. Rebounded by Bynum. Bynum over to Alsop. Euro step, puts up a floater, no good. Rebounded by Josh Carney, and he will be fouled.
And that was a good job by Josh Carney avoiding taking his second foul, yet still contesting the layup and coming down with the rebound, drawing a foul of his own.
Another substitution. Rodriguez coming out. In comes Dion Darnell. Number 1. Looks like Jarman will play up on Tolliver. Tolliver just passes back to Clausen. Clausen slowing things down. Gives it back to Tolliver. Guarded heavily by Jarman. Good defense. Carter Brown back up to Clausen. Clausen over to Tolliver. Tolliver will be fouled by Jarman. 30 seconds left in this first quarter. Dylan Clausen to inbound it.
Yeah, we'll see if the Jays decide to run it down to the end of the quarter, take the final shot, or if they go for a quick shot.
Marquise Tolliver, 4-3, doesn't get it to go. Rebounded by Alsop. Bad pass, out of bounds. Parker over to Clausen. Clausen puts it in. 16-8. And Amir Martin dribbling the ball up. Guarded by Josh Carney. And looks like they will drain out the clock and take the last shot of this first quarter. Puts a move on him, dribbles in with his left, puts up a shot, no good. He's fouled. Foul on. Looks like it will be a foul on number 1, Marquise Tolliver, as number 2, Abbas Bashir will sub in.
Yeah, that's a costly foul from Tolliver. That's going to be his second of the game. He's probably going to be on the bench for a majority of the second quarter, not wanting to get that third foul. Maybe we'll see more Josh Carney and Torrin Carter Brown after the period ends.
Carson Jones subbing in for Marquise Tolliver. Marquise Tolliver doesn't look happy there at the sideline. And Martin will make his second free throw. Clausen inbounds it over to Carter Brown, who will drain out the clock, and that is how your first quarter will end. Prep 16, Bryan 9. Great hustle by this Creighton Prep team, showing off their ability to get rebounds and play very fast, and I think it caught Bryan kind of off guard.
I agree. The only fix, if you can box out on the defensive end, you got to be able to get some rebounds. Those second chances can allow Bryan to come back in the game. But they've been shooting at, the Jays have been shooting at a high clip. We're off. Parker and Clausen have been able to find each other down low for easy buckets. So they've been able to score almost at will, a pretty high scoring quarter from the Jays.
And that is how we will leave you. Don't go anywhere. Second quarter coming up here on CPSN. Welcome you back to the Hyder Center for this second quarter. Here, 16-9, Creighton Prep leading.
Yeah, it looks like Bryan's going to get the ball to start the quarter. They want to cut it to single digits as soon as possible. Claw their way back after a 7-point deficit to start the quarter.
So Doss will inbound it to Bashir. Over to Martin. Martin dribbles in, puts up a layup, no good. Carter Brown dribbling up the court.
We'll see how long Clausen and Bynum can stay on the floor. They've been on the floor all game. At some point, they might need some rest, even though they're these two teams' best players.
Looks like it'll be a standoff between those two. As Carter Brown at the top of the key puts up a three, no good. Rebounded by Josu, and almost taken away by Doss. Carter Brown for three again, off the back iron. And Clausen looks to three, doesn't take it. Josu in the corner for three, misses his as well. Rebounded by Bynum. Bynum over to Bashir. Bashir passes to Martin, who misses his layup. Clausen over to Carter Brown. One more pass to Parker. Parker, goes for the dunk, doesn't get it, and put back by Dylan Clausen. Making this your score 18-9. Bynum puts up a shot, no good, off his one leg. Carter Brown now with the ball. Dribbles in, and shot is no good. There is a foul on Omaha Bryan as subs will come in. Alsup coming off, as well as Martin. In comes Rodriguez and Jarbin. Foul on 24, LC Doss. And now sub comes in. In comes Max Jungers in for Trinell Parker, who just got done with a junior varsity game not too long ago. Inbound to Carter Brown. Carter Brown down low to Clausen. Clausen puts up a shot, no good. Rebounded by Bryan. There goes Bynum. Bynum over to Jarman. Back to Bynum. Bynum can't find anything. Over to Bashir. Bashir for three, in and out. And it is almost rebounded by Bryan. Bashir got the ball. Bashir dribbles in. Quick pass to Rodriguez. Rodriguez loses it. Rebounded by Carson Jones, and a timeout is called by Creighton Prep. It'll be a 30-second timeout. Great hustle by both these teams on that last possession.
Yeah, this has been a quick start to the quarter. Both these teams are flying up and down the floor, but the Junior Jays have showed they're not allowed to let Trinell Parker and Dylan Clausen work one-on-one in the post, even on a Amari Bynum. And it's been successful so far. Trinell Parker has 6 points. Clausen has a few points himself. And they've really propelled this team to an 18-9 lead early in the second quarter.
I notice Amari Bynum only has 4 points, which in and of itself is not a bad thing. He's not playing selfish at all. That's what I see a lot of very good high school players do, is they think they can do whatever they want with the ball, but Amari Bynum is dribbling in and passing it back out, playing very smart basketball.
Yeah, in this last possession, he was able to find Abbas for a really wide open 3. Although it didn't drop, those are the shots you want to see.
And I think we'll see Bashir take a lot more shots from behind the arc.
Absolutely.
Carter Brown will wipe his feet and dribble it up. Guarded by Jarman. Jarman has been playing very good defense this whole game. And that's Carson Jones for 3. Doesn't get it to fall. Rebounded by Clausen. He's flying over. And he's fouled. He will take 2 shots. He just came flying in from, it looked like, the 3-point line to get a rebound, and now he's shooting 2.
And that's going to be Rodriguez's second foul. It looks like they might have to take him out of the game so he doesn't get a third before the half.
Now, free throws are something Crane Prep has struggled with throughout the year. A lot of people saying the West Side game was very winnable if they had made their free throws.
Yeah, and a 7-point loss, 9 for 21 from the line is not a good look. However, if they clean that up, I think this can be a very dangerous team against any opponent.
Speaking of which, Clausen going 2 for 2, giving him his first points. Looks like Doss will take it up the court for Omaha Bryan. Doss calls over Bashir. Alsup. Now it's Jarman. Back to Doss on the top of the key. Over to Jarman for 3. And he made it. That makes it 20-12, cutting the lead back down to 8. And it looks like that is kind of where we're going to sit this whole game.
Yeah, we'll see if the Jays can pull away or if the Bears can crawl back. But after a hot start from the Jays, it's been at this 5 to 10 range most of the game.
Trinell Parker now down low and is fouled. He's shooting 2. A lot of these Bryan fans do not like that call. Coach scratching the back of his neck.
Yeah, and that's a guy you don't want to get in foul trouble. Amari Bynum may be the best player in the state. You want him on the floor as much as you can.
Trinell Parker will miss his first, going in and out. Second shot, however, goes in, splitting his free throws. Doss dribbles it up the right. Alsup takes it in. Bashir puts up a tough layup and 1. Abbas Bashir got it to go, and now he's shooting his free throw, trying to convert.
Yeah, you got Parker in the air, just went around him. All that contact, it was tough not to call, and he got the bucket as well.
Misses his free throw. Off the front iron. Clausen will take it up as Carter Brown is being guarded. He will keep it. Gives it to Parker. Now it's Josu. Josu puts up a 3, misses. Rebounded by Parker, who takes a good dribble. Over to Carter Brown for 3. Hook, line, and sinker. Got it to fall. 24-14. It's a 10-point game.
That ended a bit of a cold spell from the Jays from the arc. Hopefully they get a bit hot, able to extend this lead from the 10 points.
Bynum fumbled the ball a little bit, guarded by Clausen. Working his way, dumps it to Doss. It's intercepted by Josu. Prep racing down the court. Carter Brown, big pass over to Clausen, who's wide open and will airball his 3.
Yeah, this is the vision you want from your point guard, though, able to find those cross-court passes for a beautiful look.
It's important that Clausen doesn't let those kind of shots get to his head, as he, like we said at the very beginning, is a very good shooter. As Bynum gets a tough layup to fall.
Yeah, Bynum's not afraid to play extremely physical, but he can also shoot the ball. He's shooting 43% from deep on the year.
I think that shows by his size, 6'8". He's very fast, as a couple turnovers. Turnover again, also now with the ball. Bynum gets past Josu and will Euro step around Carter Brown for a good layup. 2 quick buckets for Amari Bynum in this Bryan offense.
Yeah, he's now the game's leading scorer with 8 points. He excels in the fast break. Not only is he extremely mobile, but his athleticism just allows him to go over opponents. Torrin Carter Brown didn't have much of a chance.
Clausen, and a jump ball is called. It will stay with Prep, however, as it looks like Josh Carney will come in for Carson Jones, and Amir Martin is coming in for Brandon Jarman.
And that's just a great job by Alsup. It's so tough to stop Clausen when he's high up. You got to get him when the ball's lower. He's able to tie him up.
Carter Brown, little jumper, misses off the front. Parker with the offensive rebound. Puts up another one, doesn't get it to go. Gets his own rebound. Back to Parker, over to Josh Carney for an open 3. Misses, in and out. Parker nearly getting a 3rd offensive rebound.
Yeah, he's been dominating the offensive glass all year. That's allowed Prep to get just a lot of shots on goal. You don't have to be a great team if you get enough shots.
Amir Martin drains his 3. They are on a 7-0 scoring run, cutting the lead only to 3. Josh Carney now at the wing.
Yeah, after going into the quarter down 7, cutting it to a 1-score game is exactly what you want if you're the Bryan Bears.
Josu, Carney now dribbles in, and over to Parker. Parker being left wide open, takes a shot, and he made it. Crane Prep gets that 3 back.
That's his first 3-pointer of the year. He was 0 for 3 coming in, able to knock it down late in the shot clock.
Kind of looked like they had to look over to coach to make sure him shooting now is okay. Alsup now with the ball. Find him now. It's off to Doss. Doss over to Martin. Martin back over to Bynum. Bynum directing traffic. Gets a good pick, spin move. Dribbling around, not much. Gets the ball tipped away. Clausen now with the ball. Long pass over to Josu for 3. That is his second 3 of the night. Prep back up 30-21. Just like that, it is a 9-point game.
Yeah, the Jays had a 6-0 run of their own, fueled by the defensive end, forcing turnovers. Dylan Parker has just been all over Amarne Bynum in these last few minutes.
That's a shot up by Martin, who got it to fall. Turnaround fadeaway. That's Dylan Clausen. Carter Brown now dribbling up the right side.
We'll see if the Junior Jays run this down, try and prevent Bryan from getting a shot. There's a 3.5-ish second difference between shot and game clock.
Taking this a very slow. Carter Brown guarded by Doss. Hasn't moved much, and he's fouled. It will be a foul on 24 LC Doss. 15.6 seconds left in the half.
He has to play really safe in these 15 seconds. He doesn't want to get a 3rd foul before the break.
So Josh Carney will come out for Carson Jones.
And that shot clock difference now eliminated. Prep can take the final shot if they so wish.
Carter Brown slowing things down again, this time guarded by Martin. Dylan Clausen with the pick. As he goes to pass, and it looks like that is how we'll under half. Crane Prep 30, Bryan 23. Great defense by Prep there. Obviously, Bryan going on that 7-0 scoring run and Prep came soaring back with the 6-0 run of their own.
Yeah, they've limited a team that averages 66, 65 points a game to 23.5. Coach Luke has to be extremely happy with that. Even though the offensive end, they've had a lot of missed threes. When you go into half up 7 against a team as high quality as Bryan, you can't go in without smiles.
So we will take a step back here at halftime. Don't go anywhere. welcome you back here for the second half. Both teams out to shoot. What are you seeing so far?
I've seen a lot of fast basketball, yet both these teams have also been grinding it out in the half-court set. It's like there's stages where it'll be 2 to 3 minutes of extremely fast pace. Then there'll be a few minutes of each team gritting and grinding in their own half-court sets, post-ups, even a few three-pointers.
So we look to the leading scorer of this team in Trinell Parker, or of the game, Trinell Parker, with 10 points, 7 of which are, or 6 of which are in the paint, a three-pointer and a free throw, playing exceptionally well for this junior day offense, a key component to being up going into the second half.
Yeah, they've really tried to feed him down low. Although he's had trouble handling the ball sometimes, when he's got the ball, he's been able to go up with it really strong, drawing a few fouls, and even hit that three-pointer at the end of the shot clock, nearing the end of the second quarter.
Only about 15 seconds away from the second half. I believe it will be Bryan basketball.
We'll have to watch players like L.C. Dawson and Marquise Tolliver, both with 2 fouls. A third early in the quarter could send them back to the bench for a significant amount of time.
You wonder if Dylan Clausen and Amari Bynum, which one is going to go out first, because it looks like both these coaches don't want to take them out because they're both shutting each other down, it looks like.
Not only that, the 2 definitely tallest players on this team. They match up pretty similarly. They're both able to use their length to try and not only score on each other, but defend each other.
L.C. Doss will get the inbound. Now Amir Martin. Bynum dribbling it in, guarded by Clausen. Clausen kind of stumbles. Fortunately, Bynum misses a shot.
Yeah, although he stumbled, Clausen was still able to force a tough fadeaway. This is shots he'll allow even someone like Amari Bynum to take.
Josu now with a mid-range, doesn't let it get it to go.
Yeah, and that's something Bryan wants to do. You saw a really phenomenal box out from Bynum on Trinell Parker, who's just been hounding the offensive boards, try and limit those second opportunities for the junior days.
I think making sure Trinell Parker not getting free throws is going to be a huge component, as number 23, Amir Martin, knocks down a deep 3, cutting this lead to 4. Marquise Tolliver now taking it up the court. Now it's Carson Jones, got it by Rodriguez. Parker back to Tolliver. Tolliver dribbling it in, puts up a floater, doesn't fall, gets his own board. Over to Josu. Shot clock resets. Josu now dribbling with his left. Doesn't see anywhere to go. Clausen over to Tolliver. Tolliver, and a foul is called once again on Bryan. It looks like it's on number 13, Rylan Rodriguez. That is, I believe, his 3rd foul.
And yeah, he's going to get subbed out. Jargon's going to come in. Bryan's running a little small ball with Bynum on the floor. We'll see how they match up against Parker and Clausen, both of whom are.
Carson Jones for 3, knocks it down. Great shot there by Carson Jones. He is this team's 3-point shooter. Well, I guess him and Josh Carney are. As Amir Martin puts up a 3 of his own, doesn't get it to go. And now it is Creighton Prep basketball.
Yeah, the Junior Jays have had a lot of good opportunities from the arc. They've been collapsing on Parker and Clausen down low. Josu's had a fair share of 3s. So is Carson Jones.
Carson Jones puts up his own mid-range shot, doesn't fall, rebounded by Bynum. Bynum now rushing down the court, dribbles around, and a blocking foul, I believe, is called. That'll be Bryan basketball. Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's Clausen's first. It's so tough to stop Bynum when he's ahead of speed. Tried to take a charge, but unfortunately just wasn't quite set.
Jarnum kind of fumbled with the ball. Now it's Doss. And Amir Martin will set us up. Over to Bynum. Bynum puts up a tough three. Sinks it. Guarded by Dylan Clausen. Says, I don't care. Made it anyways. Cutting this lead down to 4 again. Bryan doing a much better job in the second half. Keeping up with this Junior J offense.
Yeah, they're starting to knock down some shots. Both these teams went a bit cold in the middle of that second quarter. Whoever gets hot first could be the winner, could be the determiner who wins this game.
Carson Jones with another three. Almost goes in. Rebounded by Martin. Martin over to Bynum. Bynum guarded by Clausen. Tries to put a couple moves and doesn't see anything. Now it's Alsup. And it will reset with Doss. Martin dribbles in, goes for the dunk, doesn't get it. Parker rushing down the court. And he is blocked by Bynum at the rim. Great defense there by Bryan. And a foul is called. A travel. It looks like it'll be a travel on Bryan. Prep will get the ball. Great defense there by Amari Bynum, making sure those fast break layups or fast break points are only his thing. Now it's Marquise Tolliver. Clausen for three, doesn't fall. Bryan playing much faster in this half. Also gets pickpocketed by Carson Jones. Now it's Tolliver running down, and he is fouled. It'll be a foul on Thomas Alsup, his first. Tolliver gets the ball off the inbound. Fakes the shot, but passes it, and I don't think Carson Jones is ready for it, and it will be Bryan basketball.
Yeah, we'll see if Bryan continues trying to feed Bynum. That's what they've done this half, and so far it's been successful. He's been able to score a bucket, and he's been able to find people for open shots.
It'll be Doss starting up the offense. Now it's Jarman on the wing. Tough pass over to Doss. Amir Martin passed also up in the corner, who knocks down his three-pointer as well. It is a one-point game. Timeout Creighton Prep. This Bryan team has all the momentum in the world.
Yeah, this is about as good as a start you can ask for if you're Bryan. Cutting the lead to 1 point after going into the half down 7. You'd hope to take a lead into the final period, or at least tie it up if you're Bryan. The Junior Jays obviously want to extend their lead. I think maybe you go to Clausen or Parker here down low, try and get an easy bucket or some free throws from either of them. Slow this game down a bit and let your bigs work.
Absolutely. Trinell Parker and Dylan Clausen have been playing exceptionally well this game, as usual. Of course, Dylan with 6 and Trinell with 10.
Yeah, so far it's been a really cold few minutes for Parker. He's struggled to get the ball, and when he hasn't been able to score. I'd be surprised if he didn't start asking for the ball soon, try and go up with it, maybe get to the line, start to get rolling a little bit.
Jarman up to press Tolliver. The ref tells him to back up. Tolliver dribbling it up the court. Guarded by Jarman. Tolliver's pass is deflected. Bryan with the ball. Jarman dribbles it up. Puts up a floater, no good. It will be a jump ball. Bryan basketball.
It feels like this Bryan team has a new intensity. They're moving quicker on defense.
Absolutely.
Jargon staying in front of Marquise Tolliver like a glove.
It's like he will. Tolliver back with the basketball. Carter Brown now in the game. Hesitates at 3. Parker now over to Tolliver, and it's intercepted by Jarman on the fast break. Puts up a layup and doesn't make it. Pulled back by Amari Bynum. Slamma-jamma with the foul.
That's going to give Bryan their first lead of the night as well, looking to extend it with Bynum on the and one opportunity.
What an excellent play by Amari Bynum to put that back with the foul. And he makes his free throw to convert. Marquise Tolliver now with the ball.
And Brandon Jamin these past few possessions, he's been all over his opponents, although he's going to get called for a foul here. He's forced
Off
2 turnovers.
The ball, foul. I believe that's his 3rd. And he will be subbed off for Abbas Bashir.
Yeah, he was wrapped around Clausen. He was getting a bit too intense. But he was able to get a steal on that last possession, leading to the Bynum dunk.
The inbound play. Marquise Tolliver for 3, misses, and a foul is called on the floor off the rebound.
Yeah, Clausen's now drew 2 straight fouls, another one, and they'll be in the bonus.
Dylan to inbound. Big pass over to Trinell Parker. Josu now, and Tolliver on the wing. Tolliver over to Parker. Parker blocked by Amari Bynum, and they're going to call him for a foul. Oh, goaltend, excuse me.
Yeah, he was a bit late on the jump. Parker was wide open on the block.
Bryan coach doesn't look too happy about that, but the points will count. We tied at 35. Here were 2.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
Bryan on a run, slowing the game down with those fouls. Can often, put that run in quicksand.
Amari Bynum, pass it back out, gets it right back. Guarded by Clausen. Puts up and he got it to go. Wow, Amari Bynum playing exceptionally better than he was in the first half.
Yeah, it feels like he's in his element. He already has 5 points in the quarter. He's been facilitating this run.
Marquise Tolliver blocked by Amari Bynum as well. And another foul is called on Bryan.
They're going to get him for the push after the block. And the Bryan fans are not happy.
It looks like Marquise Tolliver is hurt as he is slow to get up. Both teams. So rest will be talking to the Bryan players as well as the coaches.
Looks like Carson Jones will be coming in for Tolliver.
Tolliver getting help there on the sideline. I think they will resume play as he's not on the court anymore.
Jones will shoot the free throws in place of Tolliver. He'll be shooting 2. That also puts the Junior Jays in the bonus for the rest of the quarter.
And Tolliver's up, but hopping. It's Water.
He's on a hobble, but it's good to see him make it to the bench.
Absolutely. So he goes behind. Carson Jones misses the first. Carson Jones with the second free throw. Split him.
We'll see if they come back down and go right back to Bynum. He's been a catalyst this quarter.
This Bryan offense has been scary in this second half. You wonder what they're going to do here on offense again. Doss with the ball. Over to for 3, doesn't get it. Rebounded by Clausen. Clausen running down the court. Over to Josu in the corner for 3, doesn't get it to go. Off the front of the rim. Josu dribbles in, Passes over to Carson Jones in the corner, who doesn't make his either. Dylan Clausen with the rebound. That's 2 straight offensive rebounds. Josu with the 3 again, doesn't make it. Clausen, and a foul again.
That's going to be Bynum's 3rd foul. Clausen's going to get a shoot 2 because of the bonus, but the Jays have just fallen ice cold from 3.
Absolutely, that's 3 missed in a row. You gotta make those, especially when you're getting 2nd, 3rd, 4th chances of great rebounds.
Although they're not falling, Luke gets to be happy with the shot selection. They're shooting open 3s, but sometimes they don't fall.
Clausen makes his first. Praises by his teammates.
More importantly, he's able to tie the game up. Let's see if they can take a lead here.
And they will. Now it's Bynum to inbound it. Prep up 38-37 with just over a minute left in this 3rd quarter. Doss takes it up the floor. Hand off over to Martin. Back to Doss at the top of the key. Doss kicks it out to Martin. Deep 3, just misses. Goes around the rim.
That's that same spot he hit that deep one from earlier. I think he wanted it again.
Now it's Carter Brown running the offense, slowing things down. Not a lot of time left in this 3rd quarter.
Looks like they'll try and limit the time Bryan has on their next possession.
Parker working on him. Puts up a shot, doesn't get it to go, gets his own rebound. Puts up another one, but that one falls. Prep is up 40-37.
Yeah, Bynum had trouble contesting because he didn't want his 4th foul. Allowed Parker to take advantage down low.
Now it's Bryan with the ball as Doss is just holding it at the logo. 8 seconds left. Dribbles in, kicks it out to Alsup. Alsup, pump fake, puts up the shot, no good. And that is how your 3rd quarter will end. We are in for a great, great 4th quarter.
Yeah, Bryan got off to a really hot start those first few minutes, and immediately we had a ball game. The Jays were able to stem that run a little bit, start a small run of their own, and take a small lead. We'll see if they can start hitting their 3s. Both these teams have fallen cold at the end of the period.
So we will catch you later for the 4th quarter here on CPSN. Welcome you back to what looks like is going to be an excellent 4th quarter, starting off with Doss and this Bryan offense. That's Jarman for 3 to start us off, doesn't get it. Rebounded by Torrin Carter Brown.
Yeah, Bynum tried to post up, but Clausen was able to front him, prevent the entry pass.
Carter Brown over to Carson Jones, down to Trinell Parker, and a charge called on Trinell. Jarman using his size to his advantage and gets that called.
Yeah, phenomenal job by Jarman. That's a matchup you love as Prep, but Jarman's able to draw the charge.
That's just a high basketball IQ.
Absolutely.
Amari Bynum and Dylan Clausen, still both in this game, have not been subbed out at all. Now it's Martin over to Bynum. Bynum puts up a 3, drains it, tying up this game at 40.
Yeah, he has 19 on the day after his big third quarter, looking to hit 20.
Looks like he turned over a whole new leaf in the second half. Clausen now down low, puts up a tough layup. Gets it to fall. Bryan now flying down the court. Bynum guarded by Clausen, and it is intercepted there by Torrin Carter-Brown. Low pass over to Carson Jones for a layup. What a pass by Torrin Carter-Brown. Great vision. Now it's Jarman.
Yeah, he was able to split two defenders. Find Carson Jones in stride for the easy layup.
That was just excellent basketball there. Looks like Marquise Tolliver will go check in. Bryan puts a couple passes. Martin for three, no good. A foul is called, I believe, on Prep off the ball.
Yeah, they're going to get Josu.
They'll get Josu for the foul, you're right. Crane Prep getting two quick buckets as Marquise Tolliver will sub back into the game after a nasty-looking injury in that third quarter.
Yeah, it's good to see him back on the floor and know he's okay. You never want to see injuries, regardless of team.
Absolutely. There's Doss guarded by Carter-Brown. Hands it over to Jarman. Jarman working on Carson Jones. Bynum dribbles in. Big pass over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez back to the top, resetting by Jarman. Jarman calling for a pick. Dribbles in on Carson Jones. Now it's Doss. Doss working on Carter-Brown. Puts up a tough layup, doesn't get it. Rebounded by Carson Jones.
Yeah,
Carter-Brown looked like he wanted to push the floor, but stopped.
That was a really good defensive possession from Prep, especially defending Amare Bynum. Clausen was able to stay in front of him that whole time.
Chanel Parker wide open for three, doesn't take it. Now it's Carter-Brown over to Marquise Tolliver. Marquise Tolliver with a big jump stop. Carson Jones with a layup. Lukey telling his players to get down the court. Good layup there by Carson Jones, and Marquise Tolliver is back on the floor. Three ball by Martin, doesn't get it, and looks like an injury timeout will be called. Tolliver still looks hurt. I don't know if he was ready to go back on. Limps over to the sideline again, and it looks like I believe it's Carson Jones taking his place. That'll be Crane Prep basketball. Inbound. Jarman guarding Carter-Brown once again. Parker at the top of the key, trying to direct traffic. Good defense there by Jarman. Josu now gives it to Clausen. Clausen down to Trinell Parker, who dumps it over to Josu. Toilet bowl, and a little trouble, looks like with his shoe. Refs blow their whistle, but I don't think there's a foul anywhere.
Yeah, and slow and steady, the Junior Jays are extending this lead, now up to 8.
With only 4.5 minutes left in the game. Crane Prep up 8, as you said. Martin now with the ball.
If I'm Bryan, I think Amare just needs a touch. He attracts so much attention. Even if he doesn't score, he can get people open.
The ball is tipped away, and now Crane Prep with the ball. Carter-Brown slowing things down. Gets a good pick. Now dribbles in, puts up a layup, no good. I feel like all these defensive blocks by Amare Bynum have really put this whole Crane Prep team on edge, and a foul is called on Prep. I believe it's a push on number 32, Trinell Parker.
Yeah, that's going to be the Junior Jays' third team foul of the quarter. They have to be wary of allowing Bryan to enter the bonus. Those free throws when the clock is stopped really allows the team to claw back.
Right, Bynum to inbound, deep pass to Rodriguez. They'll set up their offense.
The Jays have fallen into a little bit of a zone. Switching it up from their man they've had all game.
Mari Bynum gets pickpocketed by Caleb Josu. Josu dumping the ball over to Torrin Carter-Brown. Carter-Brown nearly traveling. Goes for, Clausen up for a dunk, I believe is fouled. And he will be going to the line to shoot two. Lukey calling his players over. Looks like it's broken up there by the ref. Clausen making his first. Clausen has not missed a free throw all game.
Yeah, and what's allowed Prep to extend this lead is the defensive end. They've really limited Bryan this quarter.
Clausen with his misses. His next free throw. I guess the broadcaster curse is real.
Looks like they'll stay in their 2-3 zone.
Mari Bynum. A lot of passes there by Bryan before a dribble. Now it's Alsup. Mari Bynum back with the ball. Working on Torrin Carter-Brown. Big mismatch. Torrin Carter-Brown ends up on the ground. Martin with a tough shot. What a play there by Martin as a timeout is called by, it looks like, Bryan.
We'll see if Bryan chooses to set up some sort of press, try and get some points back, even though it's quite late in the game.
We'll step aside here at CPSN. Your score 49-42 with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We welcome you back to the Heider Center. 3 minutes left in this fourth quarter. 49-42, Creighton Prep leads.
Yeah, the Junior Jays will get to the ball. We'll see if Bryan sets up some sort of press, apply some pressure. Looks like they will.
Clausen to inbound it. Jarman pressing. Pass over to Clausen. I believe they are pressing, as you said. Ball tipped away. Rebounded by Alsup. Alsup having some trouble. Dumps it over to Rodriguez.
Yeah, Bryan was trying to trap Prep. Torrin Carter-Brown tried to find someone in the middle, but pass got tipped.
Rebounded by Rodriguez. Off the missed three, but it is stolen away by Creighton Prep. Carter-Brown passes over to Josu, and a 30-second timeout called by Coach Ludke. Great defense here, starting off by Bryan, getting a good tip. They just need to clean up a little bit in the paint, and that's an easy 2 points.
Yeah, they've applied a lot of pressure to this Creighton Prep offense in the last minute or so, forcing tough passes from Torrin Carter-Brown and forcing Coach Ludke to take a timeout.
As looks like Bryan will take the court first. Lukey drawing up a play. And now the Junior Jays will take the court. Birdcage was not that deep at the beginning of this game and is not very deep at the end. I feel like a lot of people not here are missing out greatly.
Yeah, it's been a great game so far, especially on the defensive end. We've seen a lot of really solid defense from both teams.
Carter-Brown now with the ball, got it by Jarman. Josu hesitates a pass, eventually does over to Clausen. Clausen working down low, Tries to put up a shot. It is tipped away by Bryan. Last touch by Bryan. I believe that's Alsup.
Yeah, Junior Jays will have to be quick. They only have 10 seconds to get a bucket.
Carter Brown over to Clausen in the corner, puts up a three, no good. Rebounded by Amari Bynum with one hand. Amari Bynum looking to go coast to coast. He does not. Hits the ground kind of hard. Slow to get up. Carter Brown over to Chanel Parker, who slams it down.
Yeah, Bynum was on the other end of the floor. He was slow to get up. They were able to take advantage of the interior presence being gone.
Doss puts up a three. Is no good, and a foul is called on Bryan.
And down 9 with a bit over a minute and a half left. Bryan's on their last legs.
Especially with Crane Prep with the ball. It's hard to keep your head in the game in these kind of situations.
Yeah, they'll need to apply heavy pressure.
Oh, whistle is blown. A foul on number 0 again. That'll be his 4th. That's Jarman's 4th foul. One more, and he's going to have to sit out the rest.
It looks like Jarman wanted an offensive foul to try and send Bryan going the other way.
Carter Brown rushing down the court. Fade away. Turn around, fade away. Got it to fall. That's an 11-point game. Prep leading. Amari deep three. Wow. Another three. The ball just comes out of his hands so well. I believe that's his 4th or 5th three of the game. And the timeout is called. We will step aside here at CPSN. Welcome you back to the Higher Center. The minute and 15 left in the ball game. Looks like Crane Prep will start us off. That's Josu inbounding it. Caleb Josu.
Bryan's decided to throw Amari Bynum on the ball, trying to make it difficult.
And they will double team Torrin Carter Brown. And a foul. And a timeout is called again by Omaha Bryan. Just a 30-second timeout. Prep, excuse me. Prep called the 30-second timeout.
Yeah, Carter Brown decided to call timeout. A smart move, getting trapped in the corner. He had no choice, otherwise he'd lose possession. We'll see what Coach Lukey draws up to try and break this press with Bynum.
Gotta wonder what the Bryan coach is drawing up here. Again, down by what looks to be 8 points.
This trap press has been really effective on the Junior Jays. They've been able to force 2 or 3 turnovers and limit scoring. We'll see if they bring that out, even though Prep might know it's coming.
You know, Bryan, they've scored a lot of points in a very short amount of time. So the Junior Jays need to stay vigilant, not let their guard down against this, frankly, I believe, underrated Bryan offense with Amari Bynum and Amir Martin playing very good basketball.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anyone better in the fast break than Amari Bynum. His size and speed and shooting allow him to score from all 3 levels, even at a fast pace. He's scary, even in a situation when you're up 8.
Carson Jones to inbound over to Clausen. Down to Carter Brown. Carter Brown hesitating. Passes. Goes over the head of Carson Jones, and it will be Bryan basketball.
Looks like Tolliver will come back on the floor. Lukey is not happy with Carter Brown.
This is Tolliver's second time coming back in after receiving an injury. He is clutching, looks like his right leg a little bit. Oh, he gets pushed. And also now with the ball over to Martin. Martin puts up a good layup.
It's now a 2-score game, cut down to 6-point lead.
Clausen looking around over at Tolliver. Tolliver has nowhere to go. Gets it to Josu. Josu pushes down the court.
The Junior Jays want to slow this
over
down.
To Clausen, and Clausen is fouled. He will be shooting. He will not be shooting, excuse me. That is Bryan's 4th foul. 36 seconds left in this ball game. And Carter Brown will sub back in for Marquise Tolliver. Clausen now inbounds, gets tipped. Josu also struggling with it. Last touch, the refs are going to say by Bryan. Bryan fans, the Bryan players, and the Bryan coach are all very, very unhappy with that call.
If you're the Junior Jays here, you just want to get it in the hands of your best free throw shooter.
And it looks like a timeout is called. Timeout called by Creighton Prep.
All you got to do here is inbound it. You really don't need to plan for a bucket or anything.
You know, there's no more shot clock, so all I can do is dribble it out, but I wonder if Bryan is going to let them. You know, they're playing very aggressive defense here tonight, especially with Brandon Jarman.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal on the defensive end. And we have someone like Amari Bynum who's able to shoot at such a high point and at such a high percentage. He's lethal from anywhere from 3. If I'm the Junior Jays, I want in the hands of either Dylan Clausen or Torrin Carter Brown. Probably the 2 best free throw shooters on this team.
Zuki looks, is he still going to draw something up here just to try to make sure they get the ball safely to drain out the rest of this clock.
Yeah, the Jays do have a timeout if needed if they have trouble inbounding it. Bryan does as well. So Lukey always has that in his back pocket.
Bryan also at 4 fouls. Need to be careful to play good defense and aggressive defense, but cleanly as well.
At this point, they might have to foul with the clock being stopped.
You're right.
Oh, sorry, the shot clock being stopped.
Someone's on the ground, and Alsup gets the ball, hands it over to Martin. Martin gets a good layup.
It's still a 2-possession game. Bryan's.
And a timeout is called. Timeout, Bryan. 27, excuse me, seconds left in the game.
And we've seen that 8-point lead already shrink to 4, although there's only 27 seconds left. Bryan is not going down without a fight.
Absolutely. They're playing very aggressively. It looked like they kind of wanted a foul there at the beginning of that inbound, but I don't think it mattered anyway as Martin was able to get a good layup. It was a 2-on-1 there.
Yeah, this press has been extremely successful. They switched to kind of a man press, but they've been able to tip those early passes coming inbounds, get them in the air, and have won those 50-50 balls. That is Bryan's final timeout, though, so they won't have that up their sleeve anymore.
And Prep also with 1 timeout. I feel like that's a huge advantage, especially this late in the game and with the ball.
Absolutely, especially when it comes down to something like inbounding it. The last thing you want to do is take a 5-second violation and allow Bryan to run one of their inbound plays.
The refs are calling for Prep. A little slow to come out of the huddle.
Looks like they'll have Amari Bynum on the ball. His lengthy frame is going to make it tough to inbound. Junior Jays are able to run the sideline after Bryan made their bucket.
Carson Jones inbound to Josu, finds him. Looks like they will foul him. 23 seconds left. Josu will head to the line to shoot his 2.
And this is where the Jays have struggled on the year at the free throw line. You need these now more than ever, though. These free throws, you can either let Bryan back in or put them away.
Josu will miss his first off the back iron. Key free throw coming up here.
After the shot, if I'm Bryan, it has to go in the hands of Amari Bynum somehow.
Absolutely.
A 2
And he
or
got
3.
it to go. Carson Jones and Chanel Parker were playing back. Over to LC Doss. Bryan for 3, doesn't get it. Martin with the rebound and attempts to throw it out of bounds off of Klassen, but it looks like it didn't hit him. So it will be Creighton Prep basketball. 9.6 seconds left in this game. Bryan down by 5. Josu with the ball now, and they will foul.
Yeah, with it being a 2-possession game with a bit over 8 seconds left, it feels Prep can taste the victory.
If Prep were to win, this would be a great victory, a great, on their resume.
This will probably be their best win of the year so far.
Absolutely.
They play teams like Westside later in the year.
Josu gets his first one, getting the lead to 6. And you got to think if he makes this last one, might as well call it a game.
Yeah, that'd make it a 3-possession game.
And the dagger, he got it. Bryan rolling the ball down the court, Martin with it. Martin puts up a 3, doesn't fall, and that is how it will end. Creighton Prep 56, Bryan 49 in a very, very, very close game. Amari Bynum leading the charge for the Bryan with 22 points, having a great, great second half, improving off his first half in which he only had 5.
Yeah, Amir Martin had 17 as well. He was able to hit some deep 3-pointers, but Prep was able to dominate down low with Clausen and Parker both in double figures.
Leading the charge for Prep, however, is very, very scattered. Turnell, obviously with his 16. Caleb Josu having 11, as well as Dylan Clausen with 11. I feel like Amari Bynum really just showed off his talent tonight, even though he didn't come out with the win. Hit a lot of very, very good threes, and overall it was a great game.
Yeah, once the Jays were able to beat that press, it was all but over. It showed a lot of good things. It showed they were able to win even when that 3 ball doesn't knock down. They can play in the paint, and the defense tonight was just phenomenal on both sides of the ball.
Well, it looks like we will leave it at that here at the Hyder Center. I'm Chris Hillebrand alongside Hank McGill, as well as Mike Knockenauer and Colton Alder, our directors. We will catch you next time here on CPSN.